Hello and welcome, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. This is the All Actions and All Results Business Accountability Group. This is where we try to motivate each other to go beyond better and to be better than great, hopefully, over the weeks that we do our work. And we're going to push ourselves to achieve phenomenal results, I hope. This is the session where we catch up with what we've done in the last week, share resources and aha moments, and try to keep each other in check with our business goals. So let's get going today. First on the agenda is the elevator statement as usual. Rudy, can you lead us off?
I am Rudy Martinez. I own Rudy's Health and Fitness in Signal Hill, California. I specialize in getting people to relieve joint pain, relieve health issues while losing weight and getting stronger, and doing this for a lifelong fitness lifestyle. Also, I teach other trainers proper etiquette when talking to their clients to maintain uh, long-term manners and rapport.
Lovely smile at the end there. Yes. Thank you, Rudy. Johnny, you're up next.
Hello, my name is Johnny Costa. I am founder and investment manager of Influx Capital Management. We do two things well. One, we're a champion for the small guy, and we use advanced strategies for the smaller investor. And then also, the life insurance side, we look to optimize people's life insurance. So it's the best and the only one they'll ever need.
Fantastic. And my
How
name's.
are you, Graham? What do you do?
Oh, thank you. I'm fine, by the way. My name is Graham Henry. I'm the founder and director of Native Speakers Academy. We're a language school based in central Slovakia, right in the heart of Europe. Basically, we do two things. We teach the English language and we offer life coaching. That's it. Thank you very much.
All right,
That,
let's move on. Let's move on.
thank you for keeping the time there,
Next
Rudy.
thing on the agenda. Yeah, that was
Is
3 minutes. We were kind of pushing it there.
super. Um, aha moments. This is anything that's hit us like a 10-ton hammer in the last 7 days and made us uh, pause to ponder what's happening in our business and the world around about us and maybe giving us a kick in the right direction. Any volunteers to go first? Hands in the air?
Yeah, I'll go first. I haven't taken the time to polish mine, but I did run it through with Rudy the other day, and he helped me out with a little piece of it. But what I realized, and this is more on the investing side, is that it, it, is that people make plans for, like, like a football team. Oh, this is going to be the greatest team ever this week. We have the best. We have a new coach now, new players, yada yada. And then something happens, and that they never accounted for. But what always happens is something that we don't expect. So I think, just for myself, in terms of investing, whenever there are like plans for, like this is going to be the best thing, I, as an investor, need to remember the X factor of things, that unknowing things that are going to come into play that are not going to make that as people expect. And that's the best way I can synthesize it.
Super cool. So, the X factor of things that we don't factor in, which are the X factor? Yeah, that's my way of describing it. The best laid plans of mice and men, aft gang awry. Robert Burns, Scottish poet, that we can make great plans, but often things happen to sink them in the process. So we have to be adaptable, and I think, as you said last week, Johnny, we have to update our visions and our dreams every day, and work with them like that.
That was in the notes.
Uh, I think it was super cool. Um, Rudy, would you like to share something with us?
Well, I think it was a continuation of last week, although it kind of plays into what Johnny was saying, how the plan can change. I really wanted to start doing 10 times more for my ultimate uh, goals, which would be to not have to commute, not have to do 16-hour days of training. I still want to do I still want to train, but not 16 hours a day. And I want to have a facility closer to me, but I do want to be reaching out globally with the experience that I do have and teach other trainers and other people in general how to take a different perspective on their health and fitness. Um, and it was kind of driving me a little crazy. I was having an aha moment where it's like I really could just stop driving all the way to Long Beach. I had a few days where it was kind of just a little too crazy, high stress. People weren't paying attention. Everybody was socializing, not working out, and I'm like, I don't want to be here, especially now that I've realized this. But then I get a client that I've had for quite a while, very very close client, who just had a biopsy and she's waiting for the results. And I'm waiting to see with her, and it's not fitness in regards to exercise, but it's in regard to her health, and that gave me pause. It was like, well, um, I may not be leaving Long Beach for a little while yet, just depending on her health and a few other people. I have to get. I My aha moment was I have to get back in perspective. Like I was ready to kind of just push my business down to like just the act of breathing, like I had said last time. But I am dealing with people, and just like Johnny was saying, there's these X factors that come up, just like this week, and I just feel like I have to keep a better balance. I still need to transfer most of my energy to my ultimate goals, but I cannot basically feel like what I'm doing now is not significant, because it is. Because right now I could actually affect uh, a few people's health in a major way, is hopefully for the better. So just keeping that perspective.
Super. So what basically you're saying is you don't want to give up on your clients and what you're doing with them too quickly. You want it to be a more gradual process. Not that you're giving up, you're transitioning into something else. That was a bad phrase that I
Yeah,
used.
it's more the 16-hour days. It's there's certain aspects of it. Uh, this is my community. This is my tribe. These are the people that have trusted me for years. So even though I am starting to shift more towards my ultimate goals, which don't include being in Long Beach forever, I am here now and I am dealing with people's health, especially some serious health issues. So I do have to make sure I respect that.
Hmm.
Just
It's also,
basically just keep things in proportion, I guess you would say.
yeah, it's also interesting once again how the external situations are influencing the internal plan. That seems to be a constant factor in everything that we're doing, even though we're driven with a personal goal to do things. Things are happening around about us, which are causing us to change our plans slightly. Um, shall I go for it?
Yes,
Yes.
go for it.
Right. Following on from last week, situational opportunism. Um, my my aha moment, thanks to a little bit of coaching from Johnny, which I defined as a daily grind ethic that pairs clear short-term goals with a flexible long-term strategy. Um, and this is a realization of what has been happening naturally around about me. And I think that setting powerful short-term goals works very good for me, and for me the long term seems to change quite often anyway, so I'm just not going to worry about that at all at this moment in time and see how that progresses. Um, other aha moments I've had, what you get is not as important as what you become. I wrote that down in my diary this week. That was going around my head. What you get is not as important as what you become. And I think it's much more about self-development, growing and taking steps forward. And as long as you can develop yourself and grow within yourself, that's a key factor. And a piece of advice that I've been giving to students this week is repeat everything, which interestingly came up in one of the recent Secrets to Success podcasts about repeating information. I think, was it CJ advised students to go back and read a book again? I don't know if any of you caught that podcast. No? No, it's not ringing a bell with you. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I did a little bit.
yeah, because E.T. was talking about the fact that he was listening to CJ talking, and a student asked him, which, what book would you recommend us to read at the moment? And CJ said, don't read anything. And E.T. said he was shocked at first, but then CJ explained that, yeah, I want you to go back and look at what you read before. And he said, don't read anything new. Go back and look at what you read before and go through it and see if there's something that maybe you missed. So it's go back and review information. And I've been doing that with students over the last week, advising them to go back and read through old chapters of books again, to listen to various podcasts that I've set as homework tasks again, to go back and do things again and see if they can't pick up. If I've advised them to watch a documentary or a film or something, go back and watch it again. Because I find that when I watch something or listen to something more times, I always get something new out of it. I always get something new out of the things that I like. Um, there we go. So those are my aha moments. Um, what's
You
next?
know,
Oh,
I think you're onto something with that SOM. The more I hear it, and the way you just described it again, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I still believe in the long-term vision, but I think if you have short, powerful goals and not necessarily, and almost on a whim. Hey, this is what I want to do today. Boom. We're here in this beautiful forest, and there's an old house here. Let's climb on it. Let's boom. Let's live.
okay. Yeah. There's that. There's also the what you can influence and what you can't influence. And I really want to focus on what I can influence rather than things try to influence things that I can't as well. And if you play around with your mic, it goes shuka 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 at our end. Okay, so
So
just
what happens is that I'm hitting it and it's flying. It's ripping off of my tie and going that way. So I
you're
was looking at it, thinking, yeah, I think I need an extension or something.
you
Don't
know
do that.
you know if you have wireless, right?
Can bounce
Up
around.
and
Right?
up and down.
You
Do it.
yes.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, yeah. So welcome to Muppet School of English. Yeah, right. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just we'll go with it. We all got new mics this week, so I think everybody should know that we all got new mics this week. So we're all testing them and experimenting with them, and we're all as happy as little boys in sandpits. So there we go.
Yes.
Um, moving on. Let's get on with it. New
Well,
resources.
yeah.
New
We got
resources.
1 minute to spare, so let's go to
Has
new resources.
New resources. So, has anybody picked up a new resource, been using something, or would advise us to go in any specific direction regarding what we use as tools in our work? Hands in the air.
Well, you know me. I always. That's basically what I did this week. I spent a lot of time researching a lot of graphics, video editing stuff. Not because I wanted to, because the ones I was using was turning out very average stuff. So I'm not saying I wasted a lot of time. Basically, it was hands-on research, put it that way. Right now, I wish I could show you. I haven't even been able to upload it because of various problems. But if you do any video editing and you want a good text on video that animates the text, and you can do a lot of neat things with it. I hopefully will be able to show you next week once I have it all uploaded. The Title Master app. It's in the Apple Store. I don't know if they have one for Android, but the Title Master app is one of the best so far, and I've looked at a lot of them because I wasted a lot of time using some of the other ones. As far as doing everything I need it to do, and the main thing for me is, if you've seen some of my videos, uh, I put some of them in black and white just because the colors clash. If I put up some text up, sometimes you can't read it. Well, all I really needed was a box behind the text so that there'd be a background, and there's a lot of them that just don't have that. So that's one of the very, very simple things that the Title Master app has, but it also has a lot of various animations. It makes things look really nice and neat and very up to date as far as design, just like some of the graphic stuff I've been recommending, Canva especially. So Title Master, and there's another one called Reshoot, which I'm not a huge fan of, but actually, if you're looking for an app that, if you want to put an image on top of your video, if you want to put a picture of anything on top of your video, it's very difficult to find a simple app because that's my whole thing. I've been wanting to use my iPad to do editing, so that was my experiment for this week. Uh, the Reshoot app, it's a lowercase r, lowercase e, and then uppercase s, Reshoot app in the iTunes store. Does great as far as putting images on top of video. It has a lot of different ways to design that, a lot of ways to look them up, emojis and all that stuff, stickers. I would not recommend it for text because the text pixelates, which I unfortunately spent hours putting together text on a video, and then when I produced it, all the text was pixelated. It looked like complete garbage. So I would just use it for the photo on top of video stuff because for that it's great. So those two things, Reshoot and Title Master for text. So those are my
So
two.
super. I'm gonna let you sweat through doing everything, and then I'm just gonna take all your advice and do,
Yeah,
and do
that's
something
fine. That's
with it.
Hey, believe me, when I actually have some money down the road, we're going to be talking to Johnny for a little bit about the investment. Believe me, it's going to be on you. And
Super.
then our European vacation, who are we going to be talking to, right?
Okay, okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. I see what's coming down the line. I see what's coming.
Everybody in their turn. So
Yeah, for sure. Everybody in their turn and in their place. Um, Resources. I'd like. Last week I recommended something not to use at the end of the session, if you remember. You probably don't, right? I recommended not to buy the underwater earphones
yeah.
because 'cause you can't even you just can't anyway. So traded them in for a set of wireless headphones that I can use through this video chat system, and that's my recommendation. Free yourself up from cables with the Logitech wireless. I think it's in 600. It's the lowest in their range. It's the lowest and cheapest in their range. There are higher and better quality ones you can buy, which probably communicate with people on different planets. But these ones have been working fine this week, and my students have been like, "Oh, you're so clear," and I'm so happy because I'm not brushing into a microphone which is fixed to my tie or something like that. And wave my arms around like a bird and jump around like a Sesame Street character. Second thing that I recommend is Pricer Ninja. I think I posted that for everyone to see on our Facebook. Because Johnny was asking last week what did I use to make my pricing comparison table for my business, and I couldn't remember. I had to go back and search, and it was Pricer Ninja. Really, really cheap price, lots of options available, very professional result, totally satisfied. So there we go. Wireless headphones from Logitech and Pricer Ninja. That's it. Um, and maybe
Johnny.
Johnny, if he can. You bought a mic, Johnny. So what kind of mic did you pick up?
What
You got
kind of
it.
mic?
Oh,
Yes.
I was going to share that in what I did for the week. So the
That's
mic
cheating.
that I
Yeah. That's a resource.
Yeah, that's
all
definitely a
right. So
resource.
the mic what I got was basically a lavalier wired lavalier microphone from Amazon. And then basically what I did find though is that well I on my newer computer it only has one and so since I need headphones since if I use a speaker it'll reverberate so I got this and then also I'm going to be doing videos with my iPhone. And in order to use my microphone, I have to have an adapter for that. So I ordered an adapter last night actually, so that because I don't know why, but like I cannot plug this right into my iPhone for it to work. So so that's going to be here, and those are kind of two resources that that I'm sharing.
That's cool. I think that there's a lot of experimentation that is necessary in the work that we're doing. So I think that it's kind of we're all going to be feeling around in the dark sometimes about what it is that we're doing and if we need to buy extra cables and extensions and adapters and things. I mean, that's what it's like with technology. You're going to end up with a box of stuff, some of which is useful and some of which is not. But that's what makes us better than average because we're prepared to experiment. We're prepared to go down the road that other people are not going down. We're prepared to just push ourselves and see what we can do and see what's out there and use what's out there. So um, that's what gives us the edge over others. Um, are we on to reports now for progress for the week? I think that
Sounds
would be.
great. We're 2 minutes ahead of schedule.
Oh, don't
So
don't worry. I'll
We're
let you.
good.
I'll let you rant for 5 or 10 minutes in a little bit, and you can. We'll be back
no,
off.
I've achieved more balance this week. So that was my whole aha moment. So,
No, no, that's cool.
all right.
We're like 1 minute closer to it now because we've just rambled
Yeah.
and said
Yeah.
nothing. Right. Let's drive forward. Report on progress for the week. Hands in the air. Anybody want to go first? No fighting, please. Um,
I'll go. I mean, or
Okay.
Johnny.
No, go ahead.
All right.
Come on, guys. Come on. You should be fighting for it.
Let's see if I can share screen. Okay. So you getting that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sharing screens now.
Yes.
Okay. So
Let's see.
last I left you, I had this template for lessons. Okay. Well, it's turning out that getting actual videos to link to these are a pain in the arse.
Mm.
They still need to do some coding. And then, even more so, as far as turning people off a sales page, if you're on mobile and you press the first one, there's no controls to turn it off. Like you can go to another entire website and you can still hear it playing on the iPad.
Ooh.
So I am not using this template until they get it figured out. Usually the guy's really good. I think he cranked it out a little too fast. So I will update you on that. So I had to, and now this was a few days of trying to figure it out and realizing that it wasn't me, it was them. So that kind of wasted a bunch of time. So to just back myself up, I went and went back to my social. This My 22 social that I'm doing as far as the sales funnel on Facebook. So again, I just want to show you the template they had for the type of thing I wanted to do on my website. So again, it's the intro. It works. I don't need to show you. I tested it all. Same setup. Plus, I can have they have buttons for PDFs or audio, whatever it is you want to do. And then just like the other one, you put the rest of the lessons down here. And again, I haven't even written down any text yet because I've been redoing it. But all these links worked the very first time I used them once I put them up. So as far as 22 social versus at the moment Thrive Themes uh, course template, social 22 social is blowing Thrive Themes away. So if anybody watches this, those are the two that I use so far. So I'm still editing, like this is just the raw footage. I have a lot of text overlays and pictures that I'm putting up, and but I've gone through about 6 or 7 apps to try and get it to do it, and I think I finally found, like I said, the Title Master is perfect. That one was perfect. The other one I'm still working on. So aside from that, I went with I still haven't done my vision thing, but this may seem out of line with everything I'm doing, but this is toward the ultimate vision, which is what I really want to do eventually is have a website. This is called Flow Elite, and they're basically like a media website for CrossFit and Olympic weightlifting and all that type of stuff. I don't necessarily have that. I want to have something similar to this with what I do, which is uh, more of a 40 and above crowd, where it'll be a resource um, for exercises and health, but also they do have like these profiles where they profile people. So there's a lot more social interplay on it, which I like. Kind of like the Entertainment Tonight of weightlifting. So I want to do it more for my demographic, which is health into functional health over 40. So that's eventually what I want to do, and I want to be producing these 5-minute segments uh, on various subjects. So what I did this week, uh, I this it's with Cine, it's basically an online summit for cinematography directors. So I'm going just a lot of information, things that I at college to learn that I decided not to go into. I was going to go into motion pictures. So basically, uh, going back now that everything's digital, it's actually really interesting because you can do a lot of things with digital software editing and the iPhone itself. And this kind of goes through a lot of the stuff that's coming out now. So this movie, Tangerine, was completely shot on an iPhone. It was one of the main attractions at Sundance a few years ago. And this is the lens they used to
Oh,
make it look like they used this and a professional app to really get the look of full feature motion picture. So I I'm that's my long term goal is to get educated back into what's going on in the industry now as far as digital filmmaking, so that I can eventually produce something like this. But this is where I start. This is my level, just like ET says. I'm at this level. I have to flesh out this level first, and eventually I'll go up the ladder to something like this. And this has been a successful site. There's part of it's free and part of it's paid. It's a $20 a month website for basically most of the premium content, and they seem to be doing pretty well, especially with the advertising as well. So that's what I've been doing. Uh, I didn't, like I said, I didn't get a lot of results. It was more research and trial and error type of week. But like I said, I feel like I was kind of balancing back to really feeling confident about where I want to go. And yes, Johnny, I got to get that vision thing done, but also having a little more respect, still maintaining my respect for what I'm doing now with the people that are paying me to help take care of their health and fitness. So there you have it.
So in terms of those, so what are those videos that you showed us that you did that you I think had issues with? Those are for the Facebook ad, is that correct?
Yeah, those ones are for to teach other trainers. So I'm going to go deeper into the industry on the back end. Eventually, yeah, I mean, I want to start producing some stuff for people to look online. As far as if you have a bad knee and you want to get in shape, what are you going to have to do? Practical information. Uh, but for right now, I'm more concerned with training other trainers because I've had a bunch of young assistants that have come in, and they're all really nice kids. I could call them now that I'm this old. But the etiquette, the protocol, the mannerism, the bedside manner, uh, it's not the millennial thing. I think it's just a matter of really not just needing to be trained. And I things that came natural to me, even when I was first uh, when I first was hired at the physical therapy clinic I worked at out of college. I was a very reserved, introverted person, so I observed and I learned that way. So, and that's a good way to develop good bedside manner is have that sensitivity. And a lot of people just aren't really. That's not their first nature. So a lot of people are very social, and I'm like, okay, you have to it's like the clients are coming in to work out, but they're also coming in to blow off steam, de-stress from their day. So let them talk. Don't like you can have a conversation with them, but let them talk about their day, and you learn about them. And from learning about them, you will find triggers that will motivate them to improve and stay focused on their workouts. It's like you become a fan of them. Like you're the trainer, but you're not the motivator. Just like what ET says, you got to find it within you, you know? So you let them talk about themselves so that you see within them and then you inspire them, for them to look inside themselves. And then you become like hey, you said, you have a wedding coming up and you ate bad the last 3 weekends because of celebrations. Well, you said, you were going to do this, so let me see it. And you're like, you're right. You were listening to me when I said all that stuff. So yeah, I got to do it. So then you become a fan. It's like they're motivated by what they said and what they did because you listened to what they said and then what they did. So it's just a matter of sitting and listening to them more than talking about your day and your date and what you went out and did that weekend. Like obviously they like to live a little that way too, but you gotta. It's like the 80-20 rule. It's like you talk 20% of the time, let them talk 80% of the time. As far as just a general conversation that may happen during a training session. That's basically a lot of my ability to retain the clients and build the community, build the tribe, whatever way you want to describe it.
Can I ask a question about that? Just about when people come. How do I put this? I got to ask the question from my perspective because I'm not sure how to ask it from your perspective. So people seem to think that the the work that I do is automatic. Clients seem to think that all they have to do is give me money and they will suddenly become more intelligent by spending time with me. And this, of course, is not the way that it works. There's a lot of hard work involved on the part of the student. There's a lot of preparation involved in each course, and there's um, there's so much I need to know about the background of the student. I got lots of questions. I need to ask them about their history, about how they studied, where they studied, when they studied, what was their favorite subject, what was their best subject, what was their worst subject, what was the last thing that they studied that interests them, what are their motivations, what are their short-term goals, what are their long-term goals. It's not just, give me money and I'll solve a problem for you. There's much more to it than that. Do you guys find that it's similar within your business that people don't really understand that the process is more complex? I don't know.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Like we're coming from the same place. Like I was, I think I was telling Graham this. Like my wife, after the first or second time I talked to Graham for the first time, first 2 weeks, because I didn't have the microphone, so we were talking. She could hear everything we were saying while she was walking around the house doing stuff. After we were done, she just had this big grin on her face, like we've been married for 12 years. I have never heard you have a conversation with anybody longer than 10 minutes. And you talk to this guy for 2 hours. And he
Yeah.
sounds exactly like you as far as half the things you talk about. But it was like it was refreshing for her to see that I actually can have a long conversation with somebody. So yeah, like you need to find like that's your instinct is to find out all these things about them.
Yeah.
Whereas with some people, they don't get that. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm the expert. I'm going to show you how to do all these things. You do these things, and everything's going to be all right. But let me tell you about my day. You know, they're the opposite of what we do. So, but to retain a client, it's like you have to find out all those things because you need to know what their process is, what their fear. One of the slides I have, like their fears, their frustrations, fears, and challenges. You need to know those things. And you need to know the environment that they're in at home. You need to know what resources they have. Like all these things, you're trying to find out. And by finding out about that, you learn their story. That's my thing. You learn their story, and then you become a fan of them and their story. Like you're not having to say, "Hey, come in, come in. I gotta work you out. What'd you do? You ate pizza? Okay, well, get out of here." And like, no, I want them coming in like, "Oh, I screwed up. I said I wasn't gonna eat any pizza, and I did." And like, let them motivate themselves. Let them hold themselves accountable. Let them be aware of their environment, their fears, frustrations, and everything. Let them do the talking.
Yeah, there's a definite need to get to know much more about the client. If I want to help my client, I really need to know exactly what you said, their frustrations, their fears, and their challenges. I haven't defined it like that before, but that's definitely what I'm going for. I'm going, what do you, what do you, what really motivates you? Why are you doing this, and why haven't you done it already? I always find that's a key question. Why are you not there already? Why are you at this point not where you could be? What is what has inhibited you? What has stopped you in this process? I don't know if Johnny finds something similar to that within his work, whether he's going to work with just kind of anybody, or there's some kind of limits, or that he needs to know much more about his clients.
No, I think in my terms, people basically want it easy. Like the clients that I attract don't have any interest in investing. They just know. Thank you. They just know that they need to, a little mail delivery. They just know
Same time every week.
that that they need, I know, they need to invest money, and they need to invest money, and they just want someone that they can trust and they like, and so that's basically it. And I was gonna say too on I'm not, you kind of went on a different tangent I thought you were gonna go, but I think in general people want things easy because I mean, for example. In my business, if I was to say, okay, I'm going to invest these 30 different companies for you, I want you to go home, uh, study these companies, and make sure that they're for you. My, my clients would be like, I'm going somewhere else. All they want to do, they want to give me their money, and they want to give me their money. They want to believe it's growing, and they want to know it's safe. They didn't want to know that I'm not going to, pull a Ponzi scheme and stuff. But I think in what you guys do, people do want it easy. I mean, in language, they do want Rosetta Stone. They want to learn Spanish while sleeping. People want 5 second abs, not even 5 minute abs. They want 5 second abs. So I think so your message, the easier you can make it on people, unfortunately. Um, and I think, or unless you get in the competitive people where it's like, okay, if you want to get to this point, like like an Olympic athlete or something, professional athlete, or if you want to get to this point, is where you have to go. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Rudy's course on weight training while sleeping. I can't wait. Can't
Yeah.
wait for that one to come through. Something that I picked up on what Johnny said, because I'm working with language all day. Little things. I find little things make big differences. And something that Johnny said. You said that people, they just want someone they can trust. And I find it very interesting. The word "just" is there, because someone you can trust is not a just kind of person. It's the kind of, if you're going to trust someone, you need someone who's all in on the good side and not going to screw you over, right? So I find that sort of um, lightly touching on something which is a very big topic there. That trust is not just in sense. It's kind of, it's much deeper and more important than that. Right. We've gone all over the map. I apologize for not staying focused. I think that was
Okay, so we have, but let's give Rudy a minute and let's time him. So, okay, this is what you've done. This is your chance to say, what's your plans for the coming up week? Um, is there anything that you thought you were gonna do that you didn't do that you want to keep doing? You have a minute. Yes, Graham. We'll do it later.
okay. I was wondering, do we slide that in at the end? We can do it now, or we can slide it in at the end. It's just it's an option question.
Well, everybody's supposed to say what they've been doing, and then afterwards we say what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think so. I think right now is a good time to um,
You want to throw it
or
in?
kind of in the moment. Yeah, I think we throw it now.
Want to do it
Uh,
right now?
No, that's
I
fine.
would, I, I would, I would
Okay, so
rather. I think it's a good idea to keep it short and do it for 1 minute. But I also think it's a good idea to do it at the end, because we're
It
finishing.
gives everybody a chance to marinate on it. Yeah.
We're finishing on it, and it's also easy for me to find when I go back through the video to write the notes down for everybody as well. So
okay,
so
all right, that's fine. My bad.
so. No,
All
no,
right. So
nothing wrong with that. It's just choices. There's nothing.
no, it's okay. We're like 3 minutes behind now. So who's next?
I'll go next.
Super
Okay,
cool.
go for it.
Good. So, a couple of things on this week. So, I said I would look up Google Forms. I did look that up, and it took me the same direction it took me before. I posted before, if you guys remember, an associate of mine that had a really nice Google Forms thing on his site, which doesn't have it anymore, and I just can't find where to save it. So, I already have a form, but I'm paying like $4 a month for it. I was trying to find a freebie. So I did that, and I'm done with it. Number two is I looked up the Graham's post of the 27 marketing ideas post. I looked it up and I really didn't find anything that that appealed to me. And
Sorry.
then, oh, that's okay. No big deal. Just you're just being 100. But thank you
Good.
for putting it up.
Good.
Um, and then also I finally got my photos back, and I did post them on the site, and I put one, probably my favorite one, in all my social media sites. So I think it's a little more personality. I will share screen now, and I don't want to be hot seated today, but I did have some challenges. Can you see this?
It's coming through right. Little circle spinning round in the middle of my screen, waiting for something to pop up there. Tell us what's coming. What are we going to see when it pops up?
Okay, well, you're going to see my investor letter that I've been talking about for the last month. Have you seen it? Is it
Uh,
up?
there's a thing in
No,
the middle of the
not
screen.
yet.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
There
So
it is.
basically, it was done last week, and there's one more company that I wanted to add, and so I basically put it in here, and just because of writer's block and whatnot, it took me a lot longer to write these four I mean, these four paragraphs took a lot of research, a lot of information, a lot of information went into making this, and then like this paragraph right here is off to the editor. So I'm looking to get this sent out to my clients today.
Looks good.
Is it up yet?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at it. Looks good from
Oh,
my perspective.
okay, good. And you
Okay.
know what? And again, so I'll get it back from my copy editor later today.
There's nothing
So that
personal or
is.
private on it, is there? There's nothing that can't go out.
No, it's again, this is for educational purposes for you guys only, and this is not a recommendation.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. But thank you. Forgot about that.
No problem
So
at all.
that was that. I'll get that out today. Number two was the infographic, and I went on those sites that you had mentioned, and there was a free version, which wasn't very good, and then there's another version where you pay, and I'm kind of at the point where I really don't want to spend a lot of time on marketing, so I thought I could do this on PowerPoint, and I would have gotten farther, but like these arrows, I had a thing where I could move them, and then I lost the thing. And so now, like yesterday, I was like spending like an hour, like trying to find it. Um, this is basically a prototype, kind of flow chart of an investment strategy that I'm working on. And so this is kind of how it looks. And then obviously the infographics look a lot better than this. But and as I said before, like this is something in the first few months that I'm going to need to change. So I don't necessarily really want to um, pay someone to do it because it's going to change. I'd rather kind of have the final. That's my thinking, anyways. Depending on how much it would cost. So this is basically it. All these arrows are supposed to be pointing down these two coasts there. So that is my prototype. Obviously, I need to follow up on that. Um, and then I'm going to stop sharing screen somehow. Oh, how do I stop sharing? Oh, hang on, I got it. Okay, good. Stop sharing screen. Okay, good. So that's that. Okay, so what I'm working on too is also in an investing video that I do want to send with a letter. I do want to um, have videos on my website and really kind of communicate, kind of as Graham had said, kind of my personality, my thing with, you know, um, with this letter especially, and that has and that has taken me so long to do this. I think I've lost the spontaneity of the video, and so I'm doing cuts of it, and it's just not coming out right. So I am so on my I guess well I'll say my upcoming, but the video is something that I still need to do, um, and and then also too was I'm redoing my portfolio, and that just takes a lot of time that I really have nothing to share. You guys would be bored if you saw what I would share on that. And then the last two, kind of the problems I mentioned, the video I'm having challenges with, and then also too the direction of my business. I know you guys' businesses are established. You've been there a long time. I basically started in January. Started this business off an idea, and so I'm just even though I do have my vision, it's still not clear. The path is still not clear for me, and I'm not sure what that it is going to take. Just because I mean, there's two things I need to do. Well, my business is based on one. It is basically beating the market, and number two, acquiring assets. But beating the market takes a long time to really get the right investments because it isn't like I look at charts and let me pick Pepsi this week. It's like there's really a lot that goes into it. So so anyways, that's kind of where I'm at on that. and that's my week, really.
That sounds like you've been extremely busy, mate.
Extremely busy, yeah.
That sounds uh, pretty cool as well. Rudy, do you want to go down any roads with Johnny there? And Rudy, you asleep? You okay?
Well, I think it's more of the same, like you were talking about before, where like the whole redoing the life insurance and the door hangers and all that stuff, and you basically shelve that, and you're focusing more on the actual clients that you have, and kind of working on your core of your business that you just started, which I think is smart. So all of it's good. I think because you just started back in January, I think you're doing exactly. Sounds to me like you're doing exactly what you should be doing. Is just basically really building like a real core, like core of quality. I don't know what you want to call it. Uh, uh, really like making sure you're doing your research, like you know what's going on. You have your spreadsheet, everything, like everything a client would want, you have it. Like you're not worried about if you have a bird on a door hanger, like that's not your thing right now. It's like you're right now you're building your experience, your knowledge levels, and all that stuff that you need to do to make the clients that you're getting right now and the ones that you have happy. So I think taking a step back from where you first started, I think, has been a really good thing. So just really making your core values of your company even stronger. I think that's a really good step.
Yeah, I would second that, and think it's really important to have resources available at your fingertips when you're working with clients. And what you're doing is building these resources right now. Obviously, they might not be as good as you want them at the beginning, but they will be in time. So
Yeah,
everything that you get done now is probably going to be 100 times better in 1 year. But you got to go through
yeah,
these processes right now to get there. If I compare, if I think about where I was 6 months after I opened my business, I mean, like I was in a mess basically at that point in time. So um, you seem to be much more on the ball than I was at that point in time in my business. So that's really, really great to see. Um, I made a
We have
note.
7 minutes. We have
I
7 minutes until the 60-minute mark.
okay.
okay.
Uh, quick note. I'm always into getting students to do things, right? And flowcharts and things. If there's any younger person that you know in your environment around about you, grab them and
Mm,
say, "Help me! I need a flowchart.
yeah, yeah,
Please
right.
help me with this." And they'll do it for you probably in about 5 minutes, whereas it would take
Yeah,
me or you maybe 5 hours to do that. So you grab someone in your environment who's younger than you, and they'll probably be able to knock one out, no problem at all. Don't
okay,
don't waste any time on that yourself, right?
okay.
Anything anything you can pass off, pass it off to other people. Um, there we go. I also made a note about maybe we should talk at some time about the marketing plan for your business over the year, and how you maybe if you've got like monthly stages or phases or 3 monthly or whatever. We can talk about that in the future, though. I don't think that's a thing for today, but
Yeah.
that strikes me as something that we all need to talk about. Um, there. Um, as Rudy pointed out, we're running out of time.
Six
What's
minutes. Six
what
minutes.
what's next and who's next? Is it my turn?
You are
You're
next.
next.
I'm next. Okay, let me just blast through this then. What did I do in the last week? I organized a folder of and reorganized my folder of information from BU so I can go through it and find information that I need to motivate myself in my work. I and I've been working a lot on personal motivation over the last week. I put another motivational video up on my YouTube channel. Um, I got my newsletter out this week. Slight problem with the graphics in it, but that's life. It'll be perfect next week. That's okay. Um, time moves in one direction forward. Um, I added a a table in my office that helps me organize my folders and information. I had a meeting with my assistant. We were talking about collecting information to still working on some details about getting uh, a book published online. Um, I edited and uploaded 4 videos from our last session. Um, I've been working with a few new students who came into the school over the last week. And what else? And
How's your book? How's your
this
book?
this weekend is the week. This
Okay.
weekend is the weekend. Last weekend I couldn't because I'm tied up in various things that I'm doing, and I'm uh, um, tell you about it later. I'm selling my house. That's going on in the background. Okay, so I'm running around doing things for that as well. As you can imagine, it's a bit complex. Um, and so the book is going to be this weekend. I'm going to lock myself in my office this weekend and hammer it out. I did look at trying to do it in little parts, but it's just one of those projects which can't be done little bit by little bit. You got to play the whole game from start to finish without a break, and that's it. Because you got to get your head into the way that it is and get it done. You can't do it in parts, and that's what I've been up to. Bang.
Good.
Um,
All right, we got 3 minutes. We got what we're doing next, and anything else?
okay, so should we do 1 minute on our next step? I
Let's
think we
do 30 seconds. I'll go first.
do it now. Go,
I
TikTok.
yeah, basically I went through all those apps, so I think I know exactly what I need to do to finish editing my tutorials. Those will be up. Thing I didn't do was do the 1 month sweepstakes membership for the gym. So that has to be up. That's something Jackie always asks me about, just those types of things. So Jackie, I'm going to get that done. But I did get a lot of research done. I'm happy about that. Burned through some app research. So this week should be more actionable and result oriented rather than research oriented. Next.
Good. All right. I am continuing to redo my portfolio. I will send out the investor letter with a video, and I'm going to research scripting videos and doing that. Um, Complete my infographic, and then lastly is work on direction and plan for my business and in a timeline, but that's something that I really that's really clear to me. Boom, done. Go, Graham.
This weekend is the book weekend where I will edit it into a clearer version that will then be published online. Um, I I also have to, in the next week, check up on those clients who have not paid me recently and find out exactly what's happening there. Um, sensitive subject and issue with some of my clients, so that's a step I have to take. Um, those are my focuses, and I also add to that sort of daily exercise routine. Almost mentioned the F word. Sorry. Right. Um, okay, so these are our plans over the next week. I just realized I was thinking something's missing the whole time. Something's missing the whole time, and Jackie's not here. Right. So I was just like,
Yes.
that's what's missing. Right. I knew something was missing from the session. That that
Okay,
say that
one
same
minute. 1 minute.
that sane, sensible, straight to the point input is not
I
here.
know exactly.
Yeah, yeah. We're lost without her. So Jackie, come back next week and join us
Yes,
in
Jackie.
in, in, in the session. Um, so we've done
Let's
what are we
wrap it
doing?
up, gentlemen.
Wrap it up.
Let's
Does
wrap it
anybody
up.
want to, Johnny? Stop ripping the band-aid off. All right. Don't know what's going on there. Um, Has anybody got any big successes that they've had in the last week? Anything that they did and they just thought, yeah, that worked. Just something positive note to finish on. Anything, any working with a client or someone's achieved a new goal or uh,
Well, I can brag if you want. I
for
had a high school athlete baseball player who, at the beginning of the season,
20
bled
seconds.
into a base. Uh, Basically sprained his arm. He couldn't get his arm down. It was stuck up in the air. I basically took 2 weeks to fix him. He ended up becoming the offensive player of the year
Wow.
for the season after having a frozen shoulder for about a week.
Wow.
So I gotta milk that testimonial. Next,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow,
That's just
that's. Did he had his arm stuck up in the air?
literally, literally at the emergency room. Yes,
Yeah. Oh my God. I
yes,
mean, that's just like he's just like be constantly asking questions everywhere he goes. 'Cause his
yeah,
arms.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Johnny,
Anybody else?
anything that you were really down with that's happened in the last week? Anything you come across? Anything you found?
no, no, no. It's all progressing well.
Okay, yeah, I have the same kind of feeling that it's all about keeping the momentum going, moving forward, taking those little steps that takes us on a big long journey at the end of the day. And I think it's time to wrap up. Would that be right?
That's
It's
it.
it's time
All
to
set.
wrap up. Yep. So this was all actions, all results. I think Rudy subtitled it 60 minutes of success. What we've been doing, what we are doing, and what we're going to lead with in the near future. We will be back in contact with each other in 1 week. We've set our tasks, and for anyone who's listening, feel free to get in touch with us, and we can all help each other out. There we go. The 60 minutes is just over and up and done, and that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys.